And I'm back with more Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. And it's time for the trial of Maggie Bird. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, right? But he was there when I took the coffee over. Scout's honor. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Are you doing okay? How are you feeling? As if you need to ask that question, sir. Don't let him get you down. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger. And you! You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you got it? You screw up, I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious. Hey, detective. You're on our side for once, right? Yeah. So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Can you, sir? Of course I can. I got the situation under control. I'm going to be the first witness on the stand today. Something I say don't mess with the facts pointed out. Okay. We're forming a united front, pal. You got me? I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it'll go pretty smoothly, right? I can only wish. Damn. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Bitter. Mr. Wright. What's wrong? Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating. That wasn't me. That was the phony one. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you're a fake or the real deal. We'll find out soon enough in this trial today. But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you're Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who hates me for some reason. And as everyone is aware, this court has already given its verdict once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony in this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony said. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Let's just start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness, state your name for the court. Oh, sorry. Name's Police Department Detective, Occupation Dick Gumshoe. Other way around. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of the case since yesterday. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy whose initial investigation was tied up in another case right now. Hope he's really got everything under control for everyone's sake. Would you outline the court the basic facts of this case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn L. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Incorporated, a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts it into evidence. Between 1 and 2:30. And here's the floor plans for the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right there. Poisoned coffee was brought to him by, the waitress. The waitress being the accused? Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of coffee. And at the time of the incident, there were two other people in the restaurant. Mr. John Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Victor Kudo. Still seems a very straightforward case to me. Come, detective. Take up the hammer. And nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, and what we found was potassium cyanide. Stuff really packs a punch. And, looks like Miss Bird had some kind of motive. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal poison. Classy lady. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask for your cross-examination, but no intimidation tricks this time around. Is it understood? I only told you that wasn't me. Okay. So, fourth statement, option 2. Potassium cyanide? I've heard of that chemical. How strong was the poison? Ah, well, that stuff's lethal. Eat too much of your history. How much is too much? A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. It's about enough to finish anyone off. 0.2? You know when you swab your ears for earwax? About that much. Huh. Something that Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Jeez. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. Some kind of motive. Uh-oh. It'd been blown way out of proportion. Objection. Oh. Okay, so you gotta press almost every statement here anyway. You know my golden rule? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee, you can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying you can always get another witness. If I have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts. They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning one for $500,000. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, but he stole the wrong one. Then is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What do I do? Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared does not implicate my client. I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 ticket? One of the female police officers found it when they were conducting a search of the defendant. What? Order! She's quite a lucky bird, that little waitress. You will submit this ticket to evidence immediately. I better keep an eye on that. The ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial, too. But it feels heavier now. $500,000? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters here is where it was found. And that's on Maggie's person. You really think there's any contradictions? But Gumshoe told us out in the lobby to find something. I don't have a lot of options right now. So, first and third. I think those are the remaining ones. Can I stop you for a minute? What is it? He's so desperate. Just now, it doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that another man was at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. Well, a killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction. Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, that's true. Their two testimonies tie that up. They both said that the other guy was on the table. There was no other guy. What do I do? Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim was obscured. That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations, right? I have here in my possession a ticket. Yeah, one-way ticket to the Guiltyville. Population defendant. This is a photograph taken near the entrance of the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef mere moments after the poisoning took. Wait, this is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place, correct? I think court will agree that's such a clear view of the scene. How could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else? Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid or a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say powdery substance. So the poison could have been anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. You put salt and pepper in your coffee? The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. Damn. Seems the poison could have only been in the coffee. What do I do? Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of it? What do you mean? According to the file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there he ever drank any of it? Oh, this... In case you're wondering, that last objection was for the defendant. For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have time to present that piece of evidence. Yeah, that one. Oh, where was it again? This. The coffee? Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup. Take a good look at the rim. It's unmistakable. There's a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof the victim did drink it. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought. Like this! For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victim and the defendant's. Upon further investigation of the cup, we found a certain chemical substance. That's enough. The facts of this case are overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did commit it. Like an old man who knows the score. There's also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone proves a credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I didn't mind an old man who was weak to the siren call of money. Good, Nick. The evidence is starting to pile up fast. It's because the court's ruled guilty already. I say it's about time to wrap up with this repeat performance. With one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more? This is the apron that the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. That's not the cleanest apron I've seen. Stains. Is it blood? Seemed the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing. Something else that stands out even more. I presume you mean, of course, I'm referring to the pocket? Search was carried out after they uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. A bottle of poison in her pocket? Yeah, and her prints were on it. What? Order! This court will accept the items into evidence. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would there be? Don't play games! The blood-colored stain smeared on the apron. It's ridiculous. No one ever told me anything about that. You don't need to be told. Just look at it. Well, detective, could the stain really be blood? No way, sir. That's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup. She must have gotten some on her apron while taking someone's breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner. Pull a stunt like that, I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. And everyone knew what that was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt my last ruling. The motive, the opportunity, and supporting evidence, they've all been clearly established. Well, Wright, seems you're really a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and your findings. Crime was reported at 2:25 by some scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie passed out from the shot. Must have been really tough for her. The victim didn't have any ID on. Well, we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found a lottery ticket and a bottle of poison. And that was it. There's nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this, so let the fun begin. Fourth statement, option 2. Wait a minute. Did I say something? Let me paraphrase what you just testified. The victim didn't have any form of ID. That's basically what you said. Yeah? In that case, how were you able to identify him so quickly? Oh, yeah. He's so let down. It's like this whole sagging shoulders and puppy dog eyes thing again. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table with a lottery ticket. Seems Mr. Glenelg visited his doctor before he went to Tribia. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc that prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source. What do I do? So what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Completely empty. It was empty. Huh. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Pretty desperate. Now, what happened to the investigation after that? Sixth statement. Detective Gumshoe, I should point out something to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony. I'm getting all anxious. Hurry up, will you? You testified that nothing else was missing. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the crime scene? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where's the medicine? You too cool, pal! Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Why do you overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison. Order! Well, what do you have to say to that? That's all. Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, will you? What's the clinic's name? New Ear Ornithological... Oh. Just what kind of illness is the victim suffering from? Hardly an illness. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. The day before the incident, found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription for? It was to be applied topically inside the ear, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in his left ear. There it is. Mr. Elk correctly applied some of the medicine while he was in Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe he could have eaten his own medication. Seems this medication is irrelevant. Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it's over. She's right. I can't get away with any old objection. What do I do? Bang the table. Only moments ago he made the following statement. It seems he correctly applied some of his medication. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the crime scene? But the medication in question was topical. That doesn't change the fact that it could have not been found at the crime scene. However insignificant it might seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that medication's irrelevant. It hardly seems like a prescription drug that would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. That's enough! Mr. Godot is the detective, the only witness on the prosecution wishes to call. Mr. Godot? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was at the restaurant the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, huh? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. And that's something that bothers me. Good job, Nick. The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. All right. Good, that's enough for me today. Solved the little, I solved the issue of the audio recordings from last session, so hopefully going forward we don't have that problem. But as always, check your technology, because technology will always fail you, even if you're secure in what you're doing. Anyway, that'll do it for me. I'll see you guys next time.